If you live in South Alabama and you make $15 an hour or more, you are closer to being a millionaire than you think. And you're closer to living in that dream Barndo. And you're closer to driving that Duramax. And the old lady driving that Z71 Tahoe. You guys are closer to that than you think. And let me tell you how in South Alabama. I can't speak for the other states, but for South Alabama. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our credit right, because we are poor people and we require credit in order to get things. So go get that credit right. And there's tons of videos on YouTube, tons of videos on TikTok that'll show you how to get your credit right, what to do, what person to pay to get that score where you need it to. Once we've got that score where we need it to, we're going to go on Marketplace and we're going to get the old lady a cheap Tahoe, cheap. You can find them on there, old body style now. And you can go get you a cheap truck or go get her a cheap 4Runner. They're on there. We're going to cut our monthlies way down on this. You almost want to go pay these things off in cash if you can. Like the truck that I drive around in every day is $500. I pay for it right then and there. I fix the air conditioner on it. And now I ride it every day, 50 miles back and forth to work. You can do this. Don't tell yourself you can't, because if you tell yourself you can't, then you won't. But if you tell yourself you can, then you will. All right, now we've got our paid off vehicles. Our credit's good. We're going to go get us a mobile home now and put it on some land. And nowadays, you can finance these things for 30 years. You know, like, Logan, I want to pay it off quick. Nope, we're not doing that. We're going to stretch the payment out. We're going to get our monthlies as cheap as we can. That way we can leverage our income from our job to invest in other things. And I'm going to get to that later in the video. Our credit's right. Our vehicles are paid for. We got a $10,000 trailer on a $25,000 lot, and we put $10,000 in utilities. So we put that on a 30-year note. Your payment's going to be less than $500 a month. You can afford that. You have paid off vehicles now. Next big thing you're going to have to make a big call on is if you're going to let your wife stay at home with the kids. If you have kids. Now, if you don't have kids, great. This works out even better. But if you have kids, it's almost better for you to let her just stay home and avoid the cost of daycare, because daycare is astronomical. Let her stay home. You go and make the money. You go make the hustle moves. Once you've got your living expenses down low enough to where your income starts to matter again, you got to stop thinking about what other people think about you now. You got to give that up. But once you can get to where you're saving $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 a month, then you can take that $2,000 a month and leverage it and go get your first rental property. You're like, Logan, well, how do I do that? Well, you do the exact same thing that you just did on your own primary residence. You go get that piece of land. You put a mobile home on it. You rent it for, right now, renting in Lower Alabama is about $800 to $1,000 for a mobile home. So if you can go get a less than $500 payment on your next rental property, then you're going to cash flow an additional $500 a month, in addition to your $1,500 you're already saving, or $2,000. So now we're saving $2,000, $2,500 a month, and that compounds. And then you do it again, and that compounds. And then you have to be mechanically inclined, keep your old junker up, but you only have to do this for 3 years, maybe 5 tops. And in the gist of things, if you're an adult, you understand how fast 3 to 5 years goes by. It goes by so fast, and you'll be living just like this, taking a shower in this, and you and your wife will look around and go, I'm so glad we did this. I'm so glad this home is paid for. I'm so glad we went through some struggle together, because now we've made it and we've got everything. And our neighbors across the street are paying $3,000 a month for their home and $1,500 a month for their truck. And we all have all that stuff paid for. And all we had to do was just live bad. Well, not really bad. You guys are going to enjoy it. It'll be the best times of your life. Me and Kristen loved it when we lived poor. But go live poor for a little bit so you can live rich the rest of your life. You are closer to being a millionaire than you think. You just have to downgrade that lifestyle. Stop caring what people think about you. Because trust me, they're not thinking about you. Everyone that you encounter is sitting there thinking about themselves. They are not thinking of you. As much as you think the world revolves around you, it does not. They're not thinking of you. So if they're not thinking of you now with all the nice stuff you have, they're not going to think of you whenever you go down to a mobile home and a paid off vehicle. But that's just my 2 cents. That's what I think people should do, especially young couples or even older people who are just looking to finally get debt free and live in a paid-off home. This is a surefire way in South Alabama to become a millionaire. And all you got to do is give up a little time, baby.